Hi, welcome back. This problem here, we've got 3y squared plus 6 equals negative 48. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And that cancels the 6, leaving 3y squared. Once again, our objective when we're taking square roots is to get the squared part alone. So then we've got negative 48 minus 6, and that's negative 54. We then divide by 3. And we've got y squared is equal to negative 18. And I take the square root of both sides. Equals, and that's plus or minus the square root of negative 18. So we need to, 18 is not a perfect square, so I need to see if I can simplify it. So I take my prime factors. 2 goes into 18 9 times, and 9 is 3 times 3. I have a pair of 3's, so that's going to come out. And the negative is going to come out as an I. And so y then is equal to plus or minus 3i square root of, and then the 2 that's up here stays under the radical. And so our solution set is negative 3i root 2 and positive 3i root 2. And let's look at number 5 here. Z plus 1 squared equals 16. Now, this is the squared part. It's already alone. And so we don't need to try to get it alone. It's already alone. So I just take z plus 1 squared, the square root of that, equals plus or minus the square root of 16. And what I get as a result is it cancels the squaring. So I get z plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 16 is 4. And so we get two equations as a result. We get z plus 1 equals 4, or z plus 1 equals negative 4. And then we can solve those two equations. Subtract 1 from both sides, and we get z is equal to 3. And over here, subtract 1 from both sides, and I get that z is equal to negative 5. And so our solution set is negative 5 or 3. All right. And then finally, we got number 6. Now, number 6, the squared part is not alone this time. It's with this 2. And so 2 parentheses means 2 times. So we're going to divide by 2. And we divide both sides by 2. We then get m plus 5, the quantity squared, is equal to negative 25. Then we take the square root of both sides. The square root of m plus 5 squared is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 25. And once again, when you got a negative under the square root, you have imaginary number. You have to take the imaginary unit I. And so we get over here, m plus 5 cancels the squaring, is equal to plus or minus 5i. And then we get two equations from this. We get 5i, the positive, is equal to m plus 5, or negative 5i is equal to m plus 5. And then I subtract 5 from both sides. And 5i is an imaginary unit, imaginary number. Minus 5 is not. And so you can't combine those. So you get minus 5 plus 5i equals m. And over here, when I subtract 5 and I subtract 5, same thing applies over here as well. So m equals minus 5 minus 5i. And so our solution set is minus 5 minus 5i and minus 5 plus 5i. And that's it. All right, thank you. Practice, practice, practice. You'll just do great.